During our first ever sprint conference, hosted at Google in November 2017, we brought together 100 experts and practitioners in the field of design thinking and innovation to share methods and explore the various ways design thinking is being adopted in organizations to spread a culture of innovation.
The process around design thinking is pretty clear, but the adoption of the process is much more non-linear, make it up as you go along kind of process. And so there's two things we value. One is the slow moving of the granite wall, because most of design thinking is about changing the mindset and culture over time, and that's not something you can do in a 5-day sprint. You can start it. So there's this slow moving of the granite wall, and then there's this sort of idea of shiny objects that keep the ball keep moving. And so there's those two balance of those two things.
I think the part around kind of continuing to push for a culture of innovation, and that's something that you can never just be done with. It's something you'll always have to actively pursue, and kind of trying to spread that idea across the organization. I think the biggest takeaway for me was there was a quote he showed, no one cares about design speak, they care about results, they care about the outcomes. So kind of trying to take that back to the company and make sure that like across the design org, we're not alienating people by using designer speak or designer words that people don't understand.
People are often interested to learn, and you show them and they're like, wow, that's great. But sometimes it's companies and corporates that are a bit more skeptical. So we do a similar version of a short workshop with them, which we're doing at the conference here today, that really takes people through some of the key steps. And we often go into companies actually and come and bring them lunch and do a little workshop over lunch, and then have a chat with them about how that felt and how it can impact their company. We're not secretive about any of our methods, and we even actually train other agencies and consultants to facilitate sprints in the same way that we do.
I think it was really interesting seeing how they involved different people throughout the organization, and got people from the leadership involved in the thinking sessions to come up with solutions.
The design thinking sprint toolkit gives you a bunch of different methods. Most of this is listening loudly to where people are and the process, and then either giving them a pen or a post-it or having them draw on a whiteboard. And so taking all of the process away and just focusing on that one particular moment, and then going out from there. So once they've figured out that, they're actually not a bad sketcher, then you can get them to have a different conversation the next time. And eventually you end up in a place where they'll run a whole design sprint, or they'll run a whole project. Helping them visualize what their problems are enables a better conversation. Then all the rest of the design speak goes away.
My philosophy, like wherever I work, is to design myself out of that position. And that's kind of building real sustainability. And so I'm at the City of Oakland. I want my position to disappear in a few years' time, because that would be a way for me to know if I did my job right, which means that there's sprint masters and design thinkers embedded in every level of government, and my job is no longer needed. But that's the ultimate success.